You know that feeling when you walk into a room and forget what you walked in there for? I find myself feeling that way spiritually because I'm always in the process of change and self-improvement. And part of that process requires that I walk into unfamiliar emotional, mental, or spiritual territory. I've selected 3 incredible crystals for us to choose from. Pyrite sparks opportunity and action, whereas the earthy, solid basalt base is all about the stability and security that having a strategy in place provides. And besides releasing negativity, pyrite also creates a protective shield, protecting us when we venture out of our comfort zone and go after new opportunities. Grape Agate opens and activates your third eye and crown chakras. It supports both energetic cleansing and protection by raising our vibration and cleansing our aura of any negative or lower vibrational energy. And Grape Agate has an incredibly high vibrational energy that matches our energy to its high frequency. And in doing so, this crystal's properties help us to align our higher self and live from a higher state of being. And finally, we have carnelian carved into a flame. This crystal is all about vibrance, from its color to its energy. If you feel trapped or bored, carnelian is the energy that you want to invite in. And sometimes we can get stuck in a safe and predictable routine, and trying to risk our sense of security for a renewed sense of passion could feel very scary. Carnelian helps to offer protection from such fears and encourages you to push past hesitations until you find the abundance that you were looking for. So now that you know a little bit more about each crystal, take a deep breath and connect to the one that speaks to you. And as usual, you can find timestamps of the crystal of your choice in the description box. Pyrite in Basalt. So I am doing this reading for myself as well, and this is the stone that I also picked. It's unfamiliar, so many cards. This is a lot of cards, and I'm like, if I'm trying to figure out where are we, what the unfamiliar, unexplored place is, it is communicating from the heart. That's what I would say. And there's this yellow center, which makes a total sense to be in the center, the solar plexus. So the first and the last card in that fan, well, on the opposite ends, it doesn't matter if they're first or last, is the 9 of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. So the room that we're in is a heart communication. It's also this inability to see what it is that I've done so far and that I've produced, and then also being careless with that because I'm not recognizing it. So what else can we learn about where we are from all of these cards? Let's see if there's any major arcana cards in here, because that usually tells the theme too. It's so circular. The theme is not feeling comfortable to show up in the world, not making the choices that allow that to happen. I am in an unfamiliar space. Right now, I don't know where I'm at because I am currently trying to make decisions that affect my fate, trying to balance that, like looking at what I've been able to accomplish, looking at what I've done and seeing what needs to go, okay? I am completely and deeply in love with the Empress and all the Empress has to offer me. I've been talking a lot about my internal goddess energy and really truly connecting to the divine feminine, and dancing has been an amazing healing modality for that. And the world, like, I want this completion. I want this feeling of wholeness. I am craving that. I'm ready for that. And so that's where I'm at right now. I've always been too afraid to show up. I've always been too afraid to allow myself to feel comfortable to share dancing. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that has been a major thing for me, right? Making a choice, rolling the dice, taking the risk, incorporating all that I know, that I understand and that I don't understand, and releasing what doesn't serve me that I know now, and then fully embracing my divine feminine, the Empress energy within me, so that I can show up and be whole in this world. That's where I'm at. That's where you are too, if you chose that crystal. So now we know where we are. What is it that I have to do that I really don't want to? Like, that is completely challenging me. That is surrendering to passion, letting that joy, that energy fill me and just live in me, and then surrendering to spirit, allowing divine energy to guide me and to take control and stop trying to be co-captain. Right now, I need to take a seat and let spirit drive. Who's in charge? Like, who's really leading me? Is it my divine feminine all the way? Is it divine masculine all the way? Or is it both? Or is it none? Is it my shadow? Is it my ego? And so that's what this is about. Okay, so we got Yemoya. And she's just right off the bat, this is an emotional thing. Okay, this is not a mental thing. This is definitely tied into my emotions. I already know this is what it is. It's how I feel about things. It's how I perceive things. It's how that affects my decision making. Yemoya coming up in who's in charge is actually, I'm supposed to be okay with that. I'm supposed to be okay with my emotions and be at one with my emotions. I have to be whole and recognize that all of the things I feel are actually lots of little bits of information and not something to be afraid of. So when I say who's in charge and the shadows I need to face, it's how I don't embrace my shadow. I don't embrace my emotions. I don't embrace the monumental responsibility it is to accept how I feel. Yemoya reminds you to use your tail. You are not of this earth. You are of the sea. It has to just be that I allow my emotions to flow through me and be what it is, and that's it. Not to try to build a dam, an artificial dam. I think that that's what I'm being told to do, and you too, if you also chose to see this video. What key item am I here to retrieve? The first one, I am a healer. Such a hard thing to believe sometimes. I am curious. I'm curious. This combination is telling me that I'm here to retrieve that childlike innocence about what's possible, that I'm here to retrieve my connection to my intuition on a more tangible level. I can't leave that behind. I have to have that on this whole journey. I have to have, that's key. So why am I here? Let's go back to that. We have magic happens when you most expect it. And what does your soul say? I'm gonna read a portion of this as well. What does my soul say? Take some time to tune in and journal, meditate, listen, and translate. You already know what you want, so go for it. If you desire a specific future for yourself, it's because it is 100% possible for you to achieve it. It is time to go get that dangling carrot you've been dreaming about and ask yourself why you've been hesitant. Because I'm scared. I know why I've been hesitating, because I'm scared. And I'm scared that I'm wrong, or I'm scared because I don't really believe myself. And that's all changing. That is all changing right now. What's stopping you from building the life you crave? This card indicates success at the end of a long journey. Yay! I believed in myself at some point. And if that's something that resonates with you, you're being told, like I'm being told, to go back and get that amazing drive and energy and imagination that we had. And remember who we are. We are healers. First card, Three of Swords. Three of Swords. Second card, the Emperor. I'm not reading reverses, by the way. And, Lord, Two of Swords. You are in a room filled with heartbreak and indecision, and you are supposed to be making a decision. You're supposed to be actively engaged in your life right now. There's so much pain and trauma that has been unresolved, and you thought you could run. You thought you can leave. For all intents and purposes, you did escape. but you carried it all with you. That's the thing about healing. When you're healing something, you're healing not just for the present moment, but for your future and the way the past is going to affect you. You've got a decision to make. You're in a leadership position more than likely, and you can't decide. You feel conflicted, and you also definitely feel blind, right? You feel like you can't decide right now. Normally, I think you know where you are because you're confident. You know where you are because you're supported. But there's something that you're going through right now that has put you into this space of feeling really uncomfortable because you've never had to feel the way you're feeling and have to make such a monumental decision. The next question is going to be, what are you supposed to be doing? So you guys surrender to what is. That's what you must be doing right now that you really don't want to do. You don't like what is. You're not surrendering to effortlessness. Everything has to be such a huge, daunting task. Everything takes so much effort. Waking up in the morning, going to bed, getting shit done. And I think this is really tied into this resistance that you have internally deep within about letting things be what they are, that you constantly want to change things. You constantly want to, because you see that there's another way to do things. You see that there's something bigger and brighter and better. That's why you're the emperor, right? You understand that. You understand that there's so much more to be done and to have and to accomplish. But you can't even do that because of all the trauma and all the pain. What happened. It was terrible. But you can't keep living there anymore. What I'm feeling to tell you is that you need to move into acceptance. Who is in charge? Hestia? I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional because this is really hard. Hestia's mantra is, no matter where I am home. The most sacred sanctuary is found within me. The reason why this is so challenging for you is because you don't feel safe, not even within your own body. If you can't control your environment, then you definitely will not feel safe. Somehow you've made that connection because of experiences, because of past situations. All of that has accumulated within you and has made your own body be a burden. She's the one who can be counted on, the one who fosters community and provides the stability of food and warmth and shelter when all else is coming undone. Ooh, Hestia wants you to be 1,000 leagues easier on yourself. Put a blanket over your body. Curl up with a hot cup of tea. Sit before the fire of all that you've accomplished and give your mind a break from all that you ask of yourself. The moment you are able to, in the midst of all the chaos, just find shelter within. Doesn't matter what's going on around you, no matter how crazy things are and demanding things are and how effortful things feel. You need to be able to have at least this and all of this to come home to. Working on that is going to help you tremendously. What is it that I'm really supposed to be getting? We're here to retrieve something, a special key for ourselves to unlock our potential. So I want to talk about that in this reading. Right. I already kind of shuffled these, so why are they here? Let's answer that first. Oh, you're here to make waves. Change maker, make waves. That's pretty clear. Why are you here? To shake up the establishment, to change the way things are. So this is not about other people. This is about you. You need to change the establishment within yourself. the structures within yourself and make those waves. You're here to transform your life. I don't know what you were told. I don't know. I think a lot of established religions are always talking about what you can do for others, but you can't do anything for others if you don't do for yourself. And it sounds selfish, but it is not selfish when it's done in a way that is divinely led. Okay, let's find out what key item are you here to retrieve, which I believe is your personal power. Okay, so let's see. I release what doesn't serve me. I release what doesn't serve me. I think we all think we do. That's why the surrendering to effortlessness and surrendering to what is came up for you, because you think you're letting things go. You think you're moving on, but you're not, because it's still living within your body. And that's why you don't even feel safe in your own body, because it's lodged itself somewhere within, and you're here to release that and to get things flowing again. You need to do what homegirl's doing here. She's crying, but she's not crying for other people, or she's not crying. She's actually just releasing. I am good enough. I am good enough. Despite everything else, that you are good enough. Despite the pain, despite the trauma, despite the confusion and the not feeling at home in your own body and all of the stuff going on, all of the chaos, you are good enough. You're good enough to release what no longer serves you and to make changes for yourself. You are a change maker, and it is time to start acting as that which you are. Stop saying yes to things you hate. It's time to honor your beliefs and to put your energy behind your words while speaking them clearly and loudly in your life. We're going to talk about where you are. 3 of Swords, 5 of Cups, and King of Swords. Okay, so you got 6 of Swords too. That's the bottom of the deck. This is where you're coming from. It could be that you haven't made a decision and you need to, or you needed to, and now you're in the space of feeling like, dang, maybe I missed that opportunity. Maybe I should have made this decision. You're maybe in this coulda, woulda, shoulda, and you're feeling some regret, and you're feeling some melancholy and sadness and loneliness because of your lack of decision making. Versus if you did make a decision and it's bringing up a lot of past trauma, heartache, and things that you're still working on healing. Either way, if you make a decision or you don't make a decision, you're still gonna have to experience certain lessons along the way before you get to the next step. And so for you, if you made a decision or you didn't make a decision, you're still experiencing some of that heartbreak, some of that trauma, some of that things that you're needing to heal. Releasing it is a long process. This is the part that feels the most confusing because you've cried, you've said goodbye to certain people, you've ended certain relationships, and it just feels so heavy to lose these things, and you don't feel yet the benefits of that decision you made or that you didn't make. You've never had to really put yourself in this rock bottom situation emotionally, and is messing with your mind. But what you need to know is that the process is going to eventually lead you to be more King of Swords. Okay, more cool, calm, collected. And that is something that's new to you because maybe you always hold on to things. Maybe you're not always comfortable. Maybe you started sharing honestly with your loved ones or whoever you trust how you honestly feel. But the beauty about you allowing your emotions and your feelings and your thoughts to be processed in this way is that it's also going to lead you into feeling more clear and having more perspective. The next question that we should ask ourselves, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing here? I've got so far surrender resentments. And that reminds me of that one group of people who might have not made a decision, or who might have made the decision and felt some resentment about or regret about what they didn't choose or what they did choose. The other card we got here is surrender to receiving support and love. And this is someone who feels like they're alone. This is someone who feels like no one understands you. What you're being asked to do is to look to see where you are getting it and to put more of your focus on that, because anything you focus on grows. We got to figure out who's in charge. This is how you confront your shadow. The Joan of Arc, the warrior of light. You gain strength through fighting through resistance, through working through resistance, through healing through resistance. Her mantra is this: I have a steel-like faith in myself, and the angels armor me with conviction. As a teenager, she led an army that changed the course of history for France. And because of the trials, we have sworn testimony detailing the courage of her convictions and her own testimony about her visions of the Archangel Michael, who inspired the course of her actions. Act and God will act, she said. The faith she had in her vision allowed her to take on a task that had never been done before by a young woman. That's how you confront this shadow. You have a shadow of doubt on your life. You have a shadow of mistrust on your life. You have been faithless for so long. And that shadow has determined your actions, determined your decisions, determined your indecision. And it is time to face it and to understand who you are, who you're meant to be. And it starts with you believing in your own self, believing in those constant visions that you're being given by the Almighty to do something, to say something, to be who you're meant to be. You're being asked to face this shadow by believing that just like Joan of Arc, you can do the impossible. What are you here to receive? So you've got, what do you really want? Collaboration of souls. Bravely market your magic. I feel like all the trials and tribulations that you've experienced in your life, like people probably wouldn't even believe your story because it's that crazy, like it's that out there, it's that dramatic, and you almost have a complete, you have like a magic wand. That's what it feels like. You can do anything you want. You just have to know what you want to do first. It does feel like it has to do with collaboration. It does feel like it has something to do with some sort of melding of people or ideas or things. But you have to decide what it is that you want. Until you figure that out, you can't even market what you got because you have to know what it is. So first step is, what do you really want? Then find the team of people who want the same things and work together towards that goal, and not being afraid to do that. And then you can market. Then you could show the world what it is that you're here to do. Trusting in divine timing. You've got to trust in divine timing. And then you have to embrace change. That's your personal power. You're being asked to trust into divine timing. Understand that things are going to happen when they're supposed to. You have a monumental task of accepting help and support that you're receiving and noticing that. And you got to let go of what happened to you. It's blocking you from moving forward.